I paid every cent for my parents' house using my late wife's life insurance. Today, I found out they gave the deed to my brother because he has a complete family. The rain drummed against the window of our small apartment, a stark contrast to the warmth inside. Maya, my 9-year-old, was sprawled on the rug, humming while she colored a picture of a garden, the kind of garden her mother, Elena, would have loved. Elena died before she ever got to hold Maya. Since that day, every cent I made, and every bit of the insurance payout Elena left behind, was dedicated to building a future for our daughter. Daddy, when do we move into the big house? Maya asked, looking up with her mother's amber eyes. Grandma said the garden has a swing. Soon, bug. Just a few more papers to sign, I said, though a knot was tightening in my chest. I had been paying the mortgage on my parents' suburban home for 5 years. The deal was simple. I'd cover the payments and the massive down payment sourced from Elena's life insurance, and in return, the deed would be transferred to me. It was supposed to be Maya's inheritance. I drove to my parents' house that evening, deed transfer papers in my briefcase. My brother, Leo, was there with his wife and 2 kids. They were toasting with wine. Dad, I brought the papers, I said, setting them on the kitchen island. My father didn't look at the papers. He looked at the floor. My mother spoke instead, her voice cold and final. We've decided to put the house in Leo's name, Elias. The room went silent. I thought I'd misheard. Leo's name? I paid $150,000 into this house. The deposit was Elena's. It was her legacy for Maya. Leo has a complete family, my mother snapped, finally looking at me. He has a wife and 2 children. You're just one man and a girl. Maya doesn't need all this space, but Leo's boys do. It's only fair that a proper family keeps the home. Leo wouldn't even meet my eyes. He just sipped his wine. Fair? I whispered, the grief I'd carried for 9 years sharpening into a cold, hard blade. You're stealing from your granddaughter because her mother died? We're doing what's best for the family tree, my father added. You'll understand one day. No, I said, picking up my briefcase. I understand perfectly right now. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I went straight to a lawyer who specialized in constructive trusts and unjust enrichment. Because I had been the one making the payments directly from my bank account, and because I had the paper trail showing the deposit came from Elena's insurance, I had more leverage than they realized. I immediately ceased all mortgage and utility payments. Since the house was still technically in my parents' names, the bank started knocking on their door within 30 days. My lawyer filed a notice of pendency. This effectively froze the property. They couldn't sell it, they couldn't refinance it, and they couldn't officially transfer it to Leo while the lawsuit was active. I sued for a resulting trust. I didn't just want my money back. I sued for the title of the house based on the fact that I had paid for the entirety of its equity. 2 months later, the complete family was falling apart. Without my monthly contributions, my parents couldn't afford the taxes or the remaining loan. Leo, who had lived beyond his means expecting a free house, was forced to move his family into a 2-bedroom rental. When we met in the mediator's office, my mother was crying. You're making your own parents homeless, Elias. How could you be so cruel? I'm not being cruel, I said, sliding a photo of Maya across the table. I'm being a father. You told me a proper family deserves this house. Well, Maya and I are a family. And we're the only ones who paid for it. The settlement was swift. To avoid a trial they would certainly lose, my parents were forced to sign the deed over to me entirely. I gave them 30 days to vacate. Last week, Maya finally got her swing in the garden. As I watched her play, I felt a sense of peace. Elena's legacy wasn't just a building, it was the fact that I would never let anyone, not even blood, treat our daughter like she was less than because her mother wasn't here to fight for her. I'll do the fighting for both of us.